It's finally here, the much anticipated Star Wars toy guide by Red 5 Designs. This one was just hand delivered by one of its authors, Gianni. It's mighty and it's damn heavy, and this is a few takes in, so my arm is feeling it now. Let's review this at the desk. Hello, it's VTR Dave and welcome back to the channel. Now, right off the bat, I'm going to say I've got very high expectations of this book. For good reason though. It's by Red 5 Designs, otherwise known as Greg and Gianni. I've featured their work before on this channel. I've showed their Star Wars card back posters, which are just stunning. I've bought some of Gianni's art. Yes, he's an artist as well. In fact, he designed the logo for this channel, the VTR logo. And I also have their mini guide to the Kenner card backs. And the one thread throughout all of their work is it's just such high quality. They're very proud of their work. That's why I'm super excited now to have this in my hands. The full title of this book is Star Wars Toy Guide, Volume 1, Kenner Action Figures, 1977 to 1985. And the project to create this book was successfully backed on Kickstarter in 2020. I backed the project with a Jedi Consular pledge, which means I got this personalised thank you letter, this awesome looking gold dust cover, which is limited to 77 copies, and 4 posters, which I'll show later. There's also a silver version, a blue version, and a very limited black and red version of this cover. If you want to see that black and red one, go over to Shabby Geek's channel. I'll put a link in the description below. Before we open up the book, I just want to get across how large this thing is. For reference, I've got the excellent Action Force Palitoy Collector's Guide. I've reviewed this on the channel before. You might be familiar with Pixel Dan's He-Man book. This isn't particularly small in its own right, but just look at that in comparison. We're going to come up with 4.6 kilograms. The detail on here is amazing. You've got all this artwork around the edge, and you've got this kind of gold embossed lettering, which is really nice. And even the first 12 figures are embossed as well. In fact, let's just take this cover off. We can see that this is number 50 of 77 of the gold edition. Very nice. Look at that hardcover. Stunning in black. It's kind of a material feel. Really high quality. And then we've got this silver embossed as well. That looks stunning. Wow. I feel like Indy, who's just found this book in a dark and dusty library, and I'm just about to open it to reveal all the secrets. It's got that real feel about it. It's just got a presence. It's amazing. All right, let's open it up. It's even got the creak of an old book. Awesome. And look at this end paper. Red with the silhouettes of the figures. And it's really thick card as well. And there's a sticker there that also notes that this is number 50 of 77 of the gold edition. Very nice. And we've got the autographs of Greg and Gianni as well. Look at this. This paper is really nice. High quality, it's kind of a satin finish. Very nice. And immediately they acknowledge those who have contributed to the book. Very nice list of Star Wars collectors. And this is part of the reason that I back this kind of book. I recognise the amount of effort that's involved in producing this kind of thing, the amount of time. And also, Greg and Gianni are putting themselves out there as well. It's not easy, and that's why I back these kinds of books. I just love the layout. It's crisp, clean. They've spent hours looking over every page, moving things around. This is one of 6,000 plus photos in the book. Amazing. And we've got just over 530 pages. Look at the contents. We've got a brief history of Kenner, card fronts, card front offers, card backs, all the figures, variations of figures, the multi-packs, baggies and mail orders, coins, proof cards and previews, droids and Ewoks, large size action figures. This covers everything about the action figure line. This is not a book, it's a tome, both in size and content. This is something you would study. So we'll go through a selection of pages. We won't go through them all, of course, but enough to give a flavour of the contents. At the moment we're in the introduction section. I love the context that's provided, a brief history of Kenner. We've got this awesome Kenner timeline down here. Nice to see the $6 million man featured. More fantastic images from Greg. This is one of my favourite pages, the evolution of the action figure, starting with G.I. Joe or Action Man, through to Microman or Micronauts, through to Star Wars. I think, given the book is so big, these are probably 1-to-1 scale, or very close at least. And we've got the Genesis, of course, the early bird certificate package. Awesome images, awesome layout on these pages. Let's just focus on this card front section. It's certainly going to help me out. There are so many cards and variations of cards that it can be quite daunting for a beginner and experts too. They give you an anatomy of a card front, they list out all the different waves of cards, and there's this amazing reference where for each figure they show you the sequence of cards that figure appeared on. So let's just take Chewie. You can see the Star Wars card there, then his ESB card, the 2 Jedi variations, and finally the Power of the Force card. And they've done this for every single figure in the line. And just to help you out even more, they have this one pager where they show the first appearance of every single figure on each flavour of card. All of those different cards can potentially have different stickers on them. So what the guys have done is they've listed out each and every single sticker. For example, the free Boba Fett one there on the Star Wars card. We've got the free Secret Star Wars action figure on the Empire card there. And they've listed them all right through to Return of the Jedi. And apparently Power of the Force never had any stickers. And then there are the card backs, and this section I think is one of the most spectacular of the book. They list out the design templates with some examples showing the various flavours of card back. Of course, the card backs had their own set of stickers as well, which are all clearly listed. Each one has its own reference number. And to show all the variations, they have what are called flowcharts, which I think is a really nice way of listing them all out once you get your head around it. So at the top of the flowchart, you have the master cards. For 12 backs, there's A, B and C. And then for each master, they show the variations. So for example, for A, they've got a variation AS7. So if I go back to the stickers, we can see sticker 7 here, which is the collect all 32 action figures. So Master A and Master B and Master C all had a variation with the collect all 32 stickers. But Master C also had get a free Secret Star Wars action figure. So this is a really nice way of showing those variations, and they also give you more detailed images for each of the masters and subsidiaries. Now for the 12 backs it's fairly simple, but as you go through the line it gets more and more complicated. So here's the flow chart for 20 backs. I think this is an awesome way of showing all the variations. Now you can see some parts of the flow chart are actually greyed out. This means that potentially that variation of card could exist out there, but it hasn't yet been found in the wild. And if it ever does get found in the wild, well, Greg and Gianni provide these sticker sheets, so you can find the appropriate sticker and add it into your book if you wish. I'm not sure many people will do that because I'm sure they want to keep their books in pristine original condition. And they've done the same as well for the expanded view of the card back. So if one does get found in the wild, you can just peel it off here and stick it in your book. And flowcharts are provided all the way up to 92 backs, so it's a complete reference. And interestingly, there was an unreleased 93 back. I never even knew about that. Before we take a look at the heart of this book, which is the figure reference, I just want to show you a couple of the posters that came with the Jedi Consular pledge. The first is this collect all 96 figures in the form of a card back with a yellow background, which looks very nice. And also at the bottom of this poster we've got other toys that are advertised and a couple of stickers, the free Dianaga figure and also the free blue Snaggletooth figure. And then there's this poster as well, which is a collection of Greg's full-page images all in one place, along with the title of the book there. There are 2 other posters as well, which I won't show now, but these are a great addition to the book. Let's take a peek at a couple of the figures, starting with number 1, Luke Skywalker. For each figure there is a complete reference. We've got the first appearance card front, This is 1:1 scale, by the way. We've also got photos of the figure, again in 1:1 scale. Some information such as the year of first release. Then there are variations listed, in this case the different colour of hair. And then on this side we've got a full front and back cross-reference for the cards. The card fronts with the various different stickers that are applied for Luke. And then here in this table we get to see all the different flavours of card back as well. Who should we look at next? Obi-Wan, of course, with all the same reference information, only this time we've got a lovely fold-out page revealing a close-up image of the figure and additional information about accessories and coins underneath. And this is repeated for all 96 figures, right through to the very last figure, number 96, Yak Face, on a Power of the Force card. I'm just going to take a breather as this is a large book to get through, but I've jumped to the thank you section that Greg and Gianni have added at the back of the book. They list out all of the Kickstarter backers. They also give shout outs to everyone who has promoted the book, including Facebook groups, websites and YouTube channels, including Boss Bounty, Holochronicles and Universal Shabby Reviews. Listed amongst my friends is Vintage Toy Rush. Thank you, Greg and Gianni, for that shout out. You might be wondering, is it still possible to get a copy of this book? Well, on the Red 5 Designs website, they have a notice. Send your email to that address, and if there's enough, then it looks like there will be a second print run. Now, the exciting news is that there will be a volume 2 focused on vehicles and play sets. And if it's anything like volume 1, well, it's just going to be spectacular. I mean, the more I dig into this book, the more I realise that this is more than just a book about vintage Kenner Star Wars action figures. I mean, the visuals, the quality, its presence just in its size really means that this book is actually an object of desire in its own right. I really do wish Gianni and Greg all the luck in the future endeavours with this book and volume 2. Stay safe everyone, and cheers.
Thank you for staying till the end. Reward yourself with another VTR classic, or just leave a comment, like and subscribe. Until next time, stay safe and cheers.